Hey everybody, this is Tree. I want to give you some inside information in reference to something that we did not get a chance to discuss during the 101. So the guy who was recruiting all of the women in Colombia, they said specifically that they will promote their links on the video, right below the video in the description box. However, I was told by Viviana that they did not include her link, even though she was there for 98% of the show.
And you can get up and leave at this point because you haven't been contributing to the conversation. You tried to demean the conversation.
It's been 3 hours, so
no,
yes.
You can get up and leave.
Yes, thank you.
Get up and leave.
I've been trying
Get up and
to.
leave. Get up and leave.
So I learned this after we were talking backstage when we completed our interview, and I thought that was a dirty thing to do, to have her be the best content provider on there. Like, she was content. She's the reason why everyone watched it, and she got kicked off. You know, they love, these insecure little boys love to show how big and tough they are by beating on their chests and picking on the little girls, picking on the small women, okay? So not only they said, hey, if you come on, this will be great publicity for you, and we will leave a link to your Instagram in the description box underneath the video. And they did not. When they kicked her off, not only did they kick her out of the WhatsApp group chat, but they also removed her link, her Instagram link, from her video. So why am I telling you this now? Well, one, I want to show you how dirty and immature these men are. This is the red pill, ladies. Be aware, okay? Also, I would like you all to do some justice on her behalf. Share this video. All of her links are going to be available in the description box. Be sure to spread the word, give her some love, and let everyone know that she's the woman that was kicked off of the platform. And basically they did her dirty by saying that if she comes on, that they were a promoter, and they did not. They literally deleted her link to her Instagram. But her link to the Instagram, Twitter, all her social media platforms will be available in the description box. So without further ado, let's get right into the interview with Viviana. So Viviana and I have been trying, for so long, and I made sure, because when we did schedule, I dropped, first of all, I was chasing you. Then after that, and this is my thing, I act wishy-washy after I start chasing something and I lose interest. Because I wanted you so bad. I wanted you so bad. But it's like, if I don't get what I want when I want, I go, I don't care no more. But it was like...
Yeah, I'm shifting teams. So I'm not really very dynamic with my emails right now because it's not me who's taking care of that. So totally, I apologize. Yeah, because I have to, there's someone there, but they're late with the, kind of transmitting the message, so that's the reason why. But I'm working on it.
Okay, no more. Well, you're here now, and when we said it, because when you sent me an email did you get it? I said, oh hell yeah, I got it. I said, let me go ahead and put the reminder in my phone so I don't forget it, and that's why I made sure I put it out there. So let me just go ahead and set the stage, and then I want you to go ahead and after setting the stage, introduce yourself, and then we're going to go from there, because I want you to know that I don't think you know how much you were celebrated and revered after that. Did you? Are you aware how awesome you appeared to a lot of us here in America?
I think that experience for me was a very personal thing to do, because I genuinely felt sad about the women that I saw on the internet before I went to that podcast. So honestly, that was my birthday. I spent my birthday doing
No way! That was your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry. I want to give you a hug. You had to... Oh my God.
No, but it was a big, it was a gift for me to be able to have that experience, because these men are just used to not having someone that's able to answer back to what they say, and I'm like, hold on, I just got this solidarity and protectiveness, and I'm like, let me just go see what's going on. Also, I felt so sad about the girls that I was sitting with a few minutes before we were chatting, and I felt so disconnected. I'm like, my goodness, we have to do something. So I felt good that I was there. And I honestly didn't expect the outcome. A lot of people were reaching out, my family members, friends, and I was like, this is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I appreciate, and I'm glad that people somehow are able to meet me with my ideas and the things I have to say. Ultimately, I feel like we are all trying to operate from a better place to just improve as a society. So,
for those of you who don't know, Viviana is one of the beautiful women that were there when Fresh and Fit went down to Colombia, right? And they was this a particular city in Colombia?
Yeah, Medellin. So Medellin is one of the very popular cities that is recognized because of prostitution. Besides being a very touristy, gorgeous, with a lot of richness besides that.
No wonder Sneeko went down there.
This is where the passport bros come, because this is, where the young girls get the surgeries and stuff. This culture of looking like a Barbie doll is very celebrated. So there's a lot of lack in terms of remembering what's important. So yes, it was in Medellin, and I'm sure that it wasn't a coincidence that they were there.
Yeah,
or
of course.
here, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they went down there, and for those of you who don't know who Fresh and Fit are, these are the guys who just got demonetized. They are part of the red pill community. These are one of the insecure men that say, "Oh, and women are emotional. Women are the one that are emotional." And here you have Myron, who is a closeted homosexual, being the most emotional, confrontational, belittling, dehumanizing, and misogynistic person on the panel. So the reason why, you probably have felt sorry for the women is because it's not in a woman's nature to be confrontational. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be nurturing. I'm not. I just want you to know I'm very confrontational. I'm very dominant. I'm very alpha. I'm very in their face. And they do not like women who do not submit to their twisted misogynistic ideology. And they like to bully women because women, and let's be honest, most women are easy to bully because, you were not even raising your voice. I don't know if you saw the video I did of you, but you were just sitting there. He was like, what? He kept yelling at you, and you were just staying in your femininity because they always accuse women who are combative of not being feminine. I am not in my femininity, and I'm okay with that. But you was like, I don't understand why you're talking to me. Shut up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I was like, what is he yelling at her for? What is he cursing her out for? He looks such a fool, and you were just sitting there still in your feminine voice. I'm just saying I don't agree with you. And you got your legs closed, girl. I mean, had your legs crossed, and you were just still in your feminine energy. And it was like he was so intimidated by that. It was amazing. Yeah. But hold on, before we get to that part, let me finish talking about, and we're gonna start from the beginning till we get to that juicy part right there. So,
all right.
These guys love to invite women onto their platform. And these are women who are not used to debating. And they make sure they give them some drinks. Okay, that's the rule. Like they give them the red cup, and they make sure they give them any kind of alcoholic beverage that they want, as much as they want. So not only are these women most likely from the sex industry, so they do OnlyFans or they do Chatterbait or anything Instagram related to news or whatever. No judgment here, but it's like these are the women that they bring on so that their audience can super chat and attack them. So it's more like anger bait, rage bait, attack bait, because their incel audience, they can vicariously attack the women who rejected them for dates or for quick sex or for a relationship. So it's a really good concept, but it's a destructive concept. And I totally get what you were doing. And so if a woman like you, as you saw, give good arguments and it makes them look stupid, then they go, get out of here, because they can't handle rationale. So that's the reason why you felt sorry for a lot of these women, because they pick women that they can bully, and the women that they can't bully, they kick out. So let me ask you something. How did you hear about them, and how were you invited onto the platform?
So, you know the redhead guy that I was sitting next
Yes.
to me? His name
Yes.
is Casey or something. He's like a little puppy. You know, he's like behind the big dogs. So he's doing everything that he stole pretty much because he needs the fame and he needs the exposure.
Clout.
Since I have a podcast myself, he found my Instagram. So what he does pretty much, and he's in trouble with the Colombian government, by the way, because he throws his parties for underage women. And what he does is he puts advertisings on Instagram, and these like Latin American girls, like girls that are trying to. Unfortunately, the culture here is really linked with the way that you look and your physicality, because if you don't look good, then there's no future here for you. And it's a really sad reality that girls from here have to go through. I haven't lived here in my life. I just got here a few months ago.
Okay.
I wanted my fiance to learn some Spanish, but I left Colombia when I was 10 years old. So I am a bit of a citizen of the world, which has allowed me to have different perspectives about it all.
Right.
So coming back home and seeing this from girls that could have been me, you know, it's shocking. So he found my Instagram because I was one of the potential girls that he wanted to have at a party. And then I posted one of my episodes, and he's like, "Oh wait, you speak English?" And I'm like, "I do speak English, yes." And then he went and he heard one of my episodes, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect." So he's like, "Would you want to be part of an episode?" And I'm in the stage of my podcast where I'm trying to collaborate with people that are actually able to have a decent conversation, because the things that I talk about are not very easy to digest for most people. So it does take a lot of mental effort and strength. It's not for the weak. So I was like, sure, am I going to be interviewed by who? And then he told me about it, and he sent me a few links, and he was, you know, saying like, this is the best opportunity of your life, the most exposure that you'll ever get.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
true. You'll
like,
get exposure.
And you have a big mouth. That's perfect. Yeah, he said that. He's like I'm doing you a favor. You know, he was claiming that, you know, I had to just be so grateful with him that he was giving me this opportunity. And then I realized that there was going to be a lot of confrontation in the mix. I don't necessarily like confrontation. Even if I am comfortable doing that, I feel like my meditation kicks in and I'm not able to really like raise my voice and kind of just lose control of my demeanor. At that moment, I saw that that's what the show was going to be like. So already I didn't like it, but the more I watched it, I just started feeling this responsibility, because my podcast is helping humans in general to find their power and not to fight against each other. On the other hand, to make peace and work in tandem for a better society. So I was like, okay, this goes against the way I do things for the most part, but I think that it can be a good opportunity for those people that are watching, maybe just planting little seeds to see if that somehow ignites some sort of new ideas in people's minds and hearts. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. So I spoke to my marketing team, and then they were like, yeah, you should go for it. And I went, but it was definitely he was really excited about me, because he told me, you might get kicked out, by the way. And I said, why? He's like, because you seem feisty. You know, he's on my Instagram. He's like, you seem feisty, and you seem like you kind of have arguments. So he might kick you out. Like, he was already telling me about it, you know. And I know that I'm not afraid of speaking my mind. I am okay with
That's
taking
true.
up space.
We saw that.
And I don't care about if you're the king of Russia. You know, if I don't agree with something that you're saying, I'm gonna say it. I don't care that you have millions and millions of followers. I am trying to operate from my heart. And if I'm not speaking to thousands and millions of people, and if my seed and my message goes to one or two, I'm okay with that too. So it's really genuine, the way that I want to live life. I just want to give back. So I felt like it was a thing to do, pretty much. When I got there, as a matter of fact, they were offering this girl shots.
I knew it. It's their MO. They cannot have a conversation. Do you understand, as a woman, how intimidating we are, that a man has to get liquor in us in order to manipulate and basically deceive us? Do you understand how great we are, that you got to sit up here and put some liquor in us to basically make the playing field even?
Yeah. And the fact that these girls had to speak English, because this is a third world country. Our English, when it comes to the education is not really the highest of the things here.
Yes.
It's pretty basic. And even more with languages, not a lot of people speak English. Not a lot of people are bilingual. So if he was going to have girls that spoke English, they were most likely educated. They probably traveled a lot in their lives, and they came from money. So they were somehow of a little higher caliber in terms of, education and knowledge. Yes. Because, he couldn't take the sex worker in the corner and bring her in, because that's what they wanted to do, but they realized that none of them spoke English. So they had to put advertisings on Instagram saying, this is the best exposure of your life. You have to, if you speak a little English, send me a voice message. This is my WhatsApp. It was like a whole marketing thing. And they were in a rush because they were not finding anyone that spoke English here. So already, right off the bat, they knew that it was not going to be like their regular Miami podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Because these girls have to have some sort of knowledge besides their normal education that's offered in a third world country like Colombia.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow. That's very interesting. So and now I'm learning something down there. So therefore, because now we understand that these guys, except for Myron was, because there's also a gay prostitution down there too. So please, I want
right.
So I mean, you got everything for everybody, and these men.
Right.
They want to pretend that they're looking for a traditional relationship. They don't. They're looking for easy sex. And they go to areas where they can manipulate women with money who are from poverty. So we understand what passport bros are about. We understand what men like Fresh and Fit are about. While the little crusty one is looking for women to pay sex for, the tall one is looking for men, because he's trying to look for men to get basically paid sex for. But we understand that they all came down there as a group, and then when they got down there and they were looking for women, they tried to get the sex workers, because I'm sure the sex workers look really, really sexy, of course, and I'm sure there's somebody that would make the men drool. So they was like, okay, they can't speak English.
I was told, bring your sexiest outfit. The more cleavage, the better, because you're gonna get more views. So just the whole thing was just
oh
what
my
the
God.
hell is this?
So they want you to dress, because that's not your style, right? That's not what you dress. You don't dress like a streetwalker, right?
I don't have a taboo with my body.
Yeah.
And I don't see that there's I dress for myself.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. I was like, you don't dress. You have a husband, so you're not dressing to impress men. So why would they ask you to sit up here and dress to impress their incel audience? This was just amazing.
And the more, and the more he would tell me, I was more because I was laughing inside, and I'm like, this is gonna be very interesting, because he really thought that I was just simply a simple other Latin American girl just trying to get some money from a Colombian girl trying to get some money from an American person. Because as we got there too, the house was full of white boys everywhere, and American boys. Everyone spoke English. 20 dudes just staring in front of us, just waiting to offer us shots. And I'm like, oh wow, this is just already so icky. What am I doing? Yeah. The girls were having conversations on their table, and they were saying to each other, I've seen videos, I'm so scared, I'm so nervous. And then the other girl would reply to her, it's okay, just say yes to what they say and you'll be fine. Just agree with what they say. And I'm like, this is just not
and I told
well.
on Twitter, there's a bunch of incel army that support these guys, and they said, well, after they kicked her out, a lot of the girls wanted Myron. I said, they saw one of the most alpha women of their flock, of their group, get kicked out. So therefore, they were automatically intimidated. What are they going to say? They're basically surrounded by these crazy ass American men Okay, so what they're gonna say? They're gonna be agreeable. They're gonna lie and say, "Oh yeah, I like you." Yeah, they're going to do what they got to do to survive. That's what women do. Okay, we lie to men if we feel intimidated, if we feel our life is threatened, if we feel like our bodies are in jeopardy. We'll tell you anything we got to tell you to get the hell out of there for safety, and then we'll tell the truth when we're in safe zones. So it's amazing. I didn't even see that part because some people say watch till the end. I didn't have to watch it because when you got kicked off and then you went over there to him. And I think you wanted to shake his hand. No, you wanted to hug him. You wanted to give him a hug, right?
No.
Oh,
no.
what?
I got up, and the closer I got to him, he was sweating, and I thought like his nervous system was out of whack. And I know that I probably should not feel bad for him, but I am an empath. So
don't you feel bad for him? He's the enemy.
No. That's the thing. I don't think that there should be any enemies because there is no way that we're fighting.
Anybody who
with violence, but
go ahead. I'll respond to that later.
But yeah, I saw him, right? And then I looked down, and he just felt so like little, right? And I just put my hand on his shoulder, and I said to him, "You need to breathe because your nervous system is gonna kill you." And then he said, "Don't touch me." I was like, "Okay, bye," and I just took my purse and left. So he was just so uncomfortable. Yeah. It was just.
Dude, wait a minute. This guy.
They didn't show that part. They cut it off. Like.
Oh my God! This punk is what, 6'4" or something like that, and you're a tiny little, cute little thing. Okay, you're according to you, you're just a little woman. Okay, and after him kicking you out, and you still not afraid, and you went to approach him in solidarity, which I'm against because we're gonna talk about the enemy thing, and you wanted to give him comfort because you are. Let me just say this, Viviana, you're a good woman, right? You are a good person. I'm not, but I just want you to know you're a good person to want to heal someone who attacked you, and you saw he was in distress because he's fighting the femininity within himself, and that you still wanted to give him love and nurturing like a good mother, and he's sweating up a storm because when faced with a woman like you, he can't compete. He realized he lost. And the fact that they cut that part out is mind-blowing.
Yeah. I was mind blown too because I was excited to see. I wanted to show my fiance. I was like, "You need to see how disturbed he was." And when I went to the end, I'm like, "Oh, there is not there." So obviously he didn't look his best. His marketing was just not gonna work if they showed that part. So I guess they cut it off. But
so this,
yeah, I don't know,
Mr. Alpha. I know, honey. Yeah. No. We are the yin and the yang, okay? I'm the yang, you're the yin, all right? Because listen, I actually can vibe with you on a lot of the energy, and because I'm on that level, but not when I'm fighting against people who want to dehumanize me, to enslave me because of my gender, who want to take rights away from me because of my gender. I know you don't see them as the enemy because that's the all kids need love, even the bad ones. I'm not that kind of person. I'm like, I'll spank the bad ones, okay? That's me. And metaphorically, I would never hit a child. I would never hit a child. I'm just saying with these grown men, they are like children. And a lot of times they need to be spanked. And I'm here to do that to them. And they don't like it when you do that to them. But however, one more thing, and then I want to ask you a question in relations to this. When I saw you there trying to tell the women, hey, we all don't let him tell you these things. We all need to work together. I feel the same way, okay? We all can do whatever we want to do because he tried to tell those educated women that their education means nothing, all right? And he was breaking them down and you were building them up. My question to you was, after he kicked them out, were you able to help rebuild those women's self-esteem back to where it was, or did he, or was he successful in breaking their confidence down?
No, so there was a WhatsApp group actually with all the girls.
Oh.
And even before we went there, I even wanted to like have a meeting at my house. I'm like, we need to like get together and talk about this, because I was already stressed, you know. I live with this society right now for a few months, and I kind of had the feeling of knowing what was going to happen. But anyway, it was just not happening because Casey was the administrator of the WhatsApp group.
That's the white boy.
So
right?
I went there. Yes.
Okay.
I went there with like blindsided. I didn't know what was gonna happen. And then once I was there, I was like, this is just not going to go well. Afterwards, the second that I got kicked out of the plays of their podcast, I got kicked out of the WhatsApp group too, and I got blocked. So a few of those girls.
Wait.
Girls.
Did you hold on? So let me repeat back what I just heard. So the WhatsApp group was that all of you girls were in was created by the white boy who was basically in trouble now with the Colombian government. When you got kicked out.
Yeah.
When you got kicked out,
yes,
he banned you out of the WhatsApp group. So that was just a way of you. Oh my! Do you see how they got to control women in order? So they take the strongest. They take the strongest out to prevent them from building up the weaker one. Wow. So in the future, if any women hear this in the future, you all need to create your separate group. So this doesn't happen to you. But go ahead. So you guys, I'm sure you're going to get to that part when you guys create your own group to get back together, right?
Yeah. So then a few of them found my Instagram, and they were apologizing to me for not standing up.
Oh.
They said, and I was thinking back, and I was not upset at that, because just think about slavery. For example, back in the day, when there were slaves and then the master would shoot a slave because he was misbehaving, the other ones are not going to get up and stand up for themselves because they're going to get killed too.
True. Right?
That's exactly how they felt. So I don't blame them. But I'm going to get killed as many times as I have to get killed, because my life would be worthless if I don't say the things that I want to say, if I don't speak my truth, Yeah,
yes,
so
girl.
they apologized, and I told them, like, listen, here's my podcast, let's just go get a coffee, and they were like pretty like traumatized about it, and they said, like, I keep thinking about it, that I didn't say anything, you made me realize so many things. And it was very moving for me, because more than really kind of just trying to help society, as it is just helping people that are from my same origin, my same age, that have my, the same like costumes, that similar childhood, and the way that our parents were bringing us up and all that. Like, people work hard here, and they're mainly good, but there's just so much shit that makes them go to the wrong way, So it was pretty moving for me. And with those girls, I still keep in contact, and they have kept up with my social media and my podcasts, and they're waiting for the next one. So there's a few of them that are kind of seeing what's going on, but then there are the others that went for dinner with them afterwards, and that were clubbing with them afterwards, that seemed very like upset in the moment, but that were like, oh my gosh, well, we want to be cool and we need the exposure, so like they're famous, so we have to like be likable for them. And so
that's
they were
so
conditioned
sad.
to
yeah
so they were conditioned to just like put their heads down and then just follow the king.
He ain't no king, honey. Let me tell you something. He's far from the king. He is far from the king.
Right.
I understand, and that's I want you to understand, Viviana, that is happening here in America too. So I don't want those women that actually had to do what they had to do in order to get fame. These men preach about, if you want to get women, you're going to have to get clout, status, money, blah, blah, blah. Because these men, I want you to understand, the tall one is gay, very ugly. He's not even wanted by a lot of the beautiful gay men, right? So he's used to being put down. The little short one, he's small and very unattractive. And so you see what I'm saying? So if he didn't have no money, he wouldn't get any women too. So now that these two men who have been rejected so much, they are able to get their vengeance by having a podcast where their incel audience, who also, instead of being better people, instead of learning how to be a better person and learning how to be respectable and know how to approach a woman, how to learn a woman, now they're learning how to manipulate women and to attack women vicariously through super chats to these two men who were zeros. And now that they got money, they understand that they got a way of manipulating women who would never give them the second thought. They're a way of being with them. And it's sad when a woman is with you just so she can get the come up. They understand this, they have accepted this, and therefore they know the game. And if these guys did not have a podcast, you know what I'm saying, whereas women are seen, that's how I saw you. I don't watch their podcast unless a strong woman makes a impact. And there has been lots of women that have made an impact on there. I'm going to put you at the number one because the way you stayed in your own, femininity, the way you just would not back down. I was your biggest fan girl, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, when I saw that, no problem. When I saw that within you, I realized that, oh my God, but there's not that many of you. So the girls who have to, I don't judge them either. I want you to understand. I want everybody who's looking at me right now, who listening to me, those women who had to go out with these imbeciles and those thirsty ass men, I'm gonna call them predators. These women have to do what they have to do to get the bag, to get famous. And so this is how predators take advantage of women in that situation because they couldn't get them any other way. So I understand that, those women had to play nice and act like they know these idiots and tell them a bunch of lies, how they look nice and how they're this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And actually just basically just have to demean themselves in their presence in order to get promoted, in order to get money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got to use what you got to get what you want. However, I want women to know that you don't have to lower yourself to get to that level where these clowns feel that you have to sacrifice who you are as a woman in order to get there. And then we understand that after the club and whatever, I hope it didn't go anywhere else, but I don't know, how do they feel afterwards? I'm more concerned of rebuilding the women that were torn down after encountering these predators.
I didn't really keep contact with most of them, just the ones that reached out to me, because then again, I lost their phone numbers, and I was trying to, as I was typing a message of saying thank you, saying you guys can text me here, this is my phone number, I was trying to give my information so that they could reach out. I was blocked. So I also don't think that in that conscious level or of where they're at in life right now, they realize fully what's going on. A lot of them were sitting there because they are trying to expose themselves that way, and they know that it's like a hard thing to just, get slammed to the wall by this man, but still, I'm gonna look cute and pretty because, a lot of people are gonna see me. So it's mainly like that mentality. Unfortunately, there's a lot of macho culture here as well, and they think that they have to be mistreated because of the religious links that we have in terms of how to treat or how to build a family here. It's normal to really take up in the role of masculine and feminine here. So my man has to work and provide, and just because he does that, I owe him the world. So I have to.
You don't though. They don't
minimize myself.
Yeah.
No, but they don't. In any way, and that's the thing that just crushes me, because there's so much power in us.
Yes!
So much, in so many ways. Our intuition, the things that we bring to the table are everything. Men are 0.1, but we are 0.0. Without us, there's nothing.
God, yes!
And they don't realize that, So it's just, I just want to shake them up and be like, come on, I just would like for you to see your magic real quick.
Yeah.
But they're not there. And it's so hard to talk to caterpillar people, butterfly language, because they're not going to get the message, and they need probably a few more lifetimes in order to really develop the self-awareness of their own power.
Or life experience.
Or life experience. Yeah, but just because I'm here and because I have friends from here that have stayed in the country forever, I know the mentality is not the same. Like, I don't even know how I was able to, because I'm pretty sure I attracted my husband. And as I was saying before, I am all of the things that Myron and this other guy think that I am a demon, right? I do have an OnlyFans account, but I have an OnlyFans account because of my safety. Mm-hmm. I did a TV show before, and I was getting identity theft. So a lot of people were claiming that they were me, and they were posting explicit content, cutting the they were just pretty much taking videos of the women's bodies, and they were claiming that they were me. And at that point, I was working in the corporate world.
They actually did that to a friend of mine too. It's like they're doing that because you don't have an only. And I'm gonna tell you something. I feel sorry for the women who are victims of that. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm 6'3" and I have dreadlocks. This is my hair. I have dreadlocks. Mm-hmm. And the only reason they are not able to get away with doing that to me, because I've never done anything nude. I've never done anything sexual. There's no nude pictures of me ever. But because they're trying to manipulate that, they cannot put my head and my hair on an average black woman's body because I'm too tall, and my dreadlocks messes it up every time. And I was like, oh, because I've had my dreadlocks since 1997. I started in 1996, and they started to grow in 1997. So I totally get why you did that, because it's the new way of men getting back at other women.
Yeah, so a bunch of like 550-year-old dudes behind the screen were making money off of my face because I had done just a TV show. And I take it to the police, and the police just tell me, well, this happens to girls every day. We can surely open a file for you, but this is going to keep on happening again and again and again because this is just how the internet works. So at that point, I think my career is completely ruined. If I ever get screened for a job or anything in my employment, my career, they're going to see that there's a bunch of fake accounts with my name in it. So what I decided to do is to create my own where I can actually control the content that goes out.
And you can also copyright claim and take down their stuff for basically infringing on your, No.
Exactly.
I get it because my friends had to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And so it's nothing they can do, especially when these people are out of the country. You can't do anything about that. And so they, too, had to do with the same thing you had to do by copyrighting and trademarking your name, your image, and they're able to take a lot of this stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, I can't believe. And also, and I hate to put Twitter on there, also, she had fake accounts of her name on Twitter with these fake nudes on there. And she had that taken down as well. So you don't have to, I guess you have to explain just in case somebody's listening and don't know about this.
So people kind of have like an idea of what happens. You know?
Right.
Yeah, and also I am really good at writing erotic poetry. And I was really able to use this to my advantage. Girls come to me asking me, oh my gosh, like, what is it? I'm not encouraging anyone to open one of these accounts because it is not it's not easy money. You are quitting a 9-to-5 job to work 24/7. People are going to drain you. You're going to start setting prices to your body itself. Right. And the line is very thin.
Yes.
You're going to start with like, oh, just like bikini. And then, oh, well, if I pay you $50 more, maybe you take off the top and you're like, oh, I need the freaking $50. Okay, just this one time. After that one time, it's just gonna be a rabbit hole.
It's gonna go on and on and on. It's gonna get higher and higher and higher and higher. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not for people that don't know their boundaries.
Right.
And most of these girls just want the money, and once the money is there, it's just so tempting because they're like, well, fuck it, I can just like do everything. Can I swear?
No, you can go ahead and swear. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this part of my live stream and I'm gonna edit it because I used profanity earlier on too, and I'm just gonna bleep it out. So if it just comes out, don't worry about it. I will bleep it out later in the post-production. So go ahead and do your thing, girl.
Yeah, so this girl starts slow, and then once they see the money there, it is just so easy that they become so fearless, and they find every single point of justification of what they're like showing their bodies that way. I don't think that there is any taboo with expressing your sensuality.
I don't either.
As long as it is on your terms. So the thing is that they do feel that they have to be the slaves of these men that are paying $25, $10 to see them when they are paying to enter their territory. If you are in my OnlyFans, it's because you're curious enough to pay to enter my territory, and you're not asking me for anything you want, and I don't owe you anything.
Right.
You're here because you want to explore and see, you know, a different part of myself that I choose what to show.
Yes.
This is not about you, and I don't have to owe you anything.
Right.
So in my description at the beginning, I make it very clear, and I'm really good at just turning the table. It's like, you're not going to tell me what to show you. You're
Viviana, they all could do the same thing you do. They all can turn the table. I don't think they realize their power, though. I don't think these women don't even realize how powerful they are.
No, they don't. That's exactly why.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm saying that's exactly why, you know, I talk about all this, you know, different topics in my podcast that have an OnlyFans episode, because I never gave anybody explanations. Once I opened one, I lost 50% of my friends. They were like, oh my gosh, you out of all people, but you're smart. There's so many more things that you could have done with your life, and now you're like a porn star. They assume it. And the thing is that the connotation of OnlyFans, this is very heavy for society.
Yes.
So if you don't know who you are, and if you don't know what you can do with it, that can fuck up with your identity in multiple ways.
Yes.
Right? Because you're going to lose people. Your family are going to go against you.
Yeah.
But if you're safe and still in your body, and you're safe in your ideas, and you know exactly your plan, you don't have to give anybody explanations too. If someone that kind of judges you because you have an OnlyFans don't see the rest of your complexity as a person, most likely they don't even deserve to be in your life.
True.
So garbage takes itself out.
Yes.
So those friends that told me, like, you suck because you have an OnlyFans, without even knowing what
without even asking you why and what was your purpose of doing
it. Exactly. I was like, all right, cool, you know. So it's been of service for me because I've been able to use it my way. But there is not a lot of people that happen to just be lucky enough to kind of just find that clarity within to make it that way. They just become slaves of their own bad ambition, right? So
I totally get it. Just a little bit of background of me. I was in professional domination since 2000, the year 2000. I retired in 2012. So I understand my power. You know what I'm saying? Here is something where you don't, a woman doesn't have to take off her clothes. She doesn't have to have sex. You don't have sex, as a matter of fact. That's the power of being a professional dom. You're coming to me for pain. You're coming to me to be tortured. You're coming to me to be degraded, okay? And the only time you can, and you always have to be totally nude in front of me with a collar on your neck. And the only time you can kiss me, the only time you can touch me is when you kiss my butt or kiss my feet. Other than that, you don't get touched by my hand at all. Nothing about my body touches you. And it's the most powerful position, I would have to say, next to I would have to say the three top powerful women in the sex industry is 1, the madam, okay, 2, the courtesan, and then 3, the professional domina. You know what I'm saying? And all that order. It'll be in that order. And so when I retired to get out, because I was in a relationship and my fiance at that time did not want me in it, so he basically paid, which was a lot of money. He basically said, okay, how much are you making in doing this? And he basically supplemented my income to get me out. So once I was out. But I never took my eye off of the women that were in this space and trying to teach them that you are in a very powerful position because men are coming, because of the weakness of men, they are coming to you to fulfill some kind of fantasy within their head, also to gratify their own organ down there. So you have the power, and I think women don't realize how powerful they are until they actually make those demands, until they set those limits, until they give that number. And once they do it, it only takes one time or maybe twice for some women. And when the guy go, okay, then I think that's when it will click and go, oh my God, all this time I've been selling myself short. And then and sometimes maybe they never learned the lesson. How many women do you think learned the lesson off early in the game or versus later in the game?
Well, I was thinking that one thing that OnlyFans does and has done for a lot of women, at least of my social circle, is that it's quantifying labor that was already given for free, right? For example, we have the Instagram photos. It is quantifying labor that's given for free on Instagram photos, on the little Snapchat story that you send that is going to disappear. All of that is labor because it represents value on the other part, right? The guy is getting and feeling some kind of way for receiving this because this is, you are pure energy and that's what you give by pure presence and by how you, your essence and how you exist, you're already giving by default. And that this little like Instagram gym selfie that you send or whatever it is, that's labor. So my friends and people that I'm surrounded with and by, when I explained to them how I see it, they said, "Oh my God, I never thought of it."
I never thought about that either. Until you just said it, I never thought about that either. Go on. I'm very intrigued. Go ahead.
So this goes back to, there is a philosopher called Sylvia, and she's a feminist, and pretty much she's talking about the way that the housework is not quantified either, right? So it's given. So for example, like the cooking, the cleaning, the having the baby, the taking care of the house. Well, that's just what the woman does, and it sucks to suck, but you're a woman, so that's what you should do. But since I'm the man, I just go and work, right? That's how we think that it works. And besides us just already offering, making that space a home, for example, me, I thought that for me to acquire value, I needed to also find like a job and make as much as my husband, or else I was not gonna, bring the same value, until I realized, wait up. There's a home because of me.
Right.
There's life because of me. There's nurturing because of me.
Yes.
And I am here trying to match this masculine energy, doing the same things that he's doing. What is the fucking imbalance that we have here? I was like, what? Hold on. So it's just, once you're realizing that we have been in a war between the gender and the power dynamics, and as a society that we're completely lost, we have no fucking clue on how to actually survive as a duality. It's like no one knows. You have to do your homework on your own. We still have a few years, 50, 60 years until we're actually waking up. Right now I do think that there's some sort of awakening of
that's happening right now. Yes,
with women. Yes. So but even then, we think that the problem here is that women think that they have to be 100% feminine, and men think that they have to be 100% masculine. But that's the thing. True. You are masculine and feminine, and you can be 100% feminine, and the best women are 100% feminine and 90% masculine. And the best men are 100% masculine and 90% feminine because they are at peace with their energy. So they're not afraid to actually be the best of both worlds in one person, So the different power dynamics and points of pressure and our fortes as a human come from different places. It's like comparing apples to oranges, you know? So we're part of a patriarchy, and we think there's never been a different reality but that. So we don't know what a matriarchy looks like, and it's not the point. The point is that all women that exist in the world right now are patriarchy women because they're products of the society that we have right now. So they don't even know, when there is feminism that's aggressive, they don't even know that energy that they're putting out there of aggressing and just like being reactive, that's purely masculine.
Yes.
But we don't understand our energies,
And that's the reason why I say I embrace my when they say, "Oh, you just masculine." Yeah, I am. They're saying that as
me
if,
too. I am.
Yeah, they say this as if that's going to be a put down. Thank you for the compliment. Yes, I am. Okay.
Exactly. Because
How do you
you're
think
able
I get
to
things
take up
done?
on that energy. That's it. Exactly. Is the determination, is the planning, is the reacting, is the doing, right?
Right.
Is the providing, is the fending for yourself.
Right.
Feminine is laying back, is relaxing, is receiving, is nurturing.
Yes.
But you need to have both
Yes.
for every single thing that you do in your life.
Right. Right.
And that's what we don't get.
Right.
You know? There's no extremes. There is a balance and there is a dance between energies that you have to fluctuate back and forth within. But if you don't understand that, and if you think that it's bad to be masculine, I would not be here if I wasn't masculine.
Hello.
I wouldn't speak languages
Hello.
if I wasn't masculine. I would not have a podcast if I wasn't masculine. You know?
Yes. Yes. And you know the balance, I want to piggyback and then I'll let you finish. When you said you have to have both. Yesterday on my Twitter, I was attacking red pill men. I found out a weakness because I was educating women when these men are saying, "Oh, you need to go and go up to a woman and ask her body count." And I was like, and I was teaching women how to attack men who do that because that's a very vulgar thing to do. It's a very rude thing to do. And I said, ladies, if any man walks up to you and say, "What's your body count?" Retaliate and say, "What's the size of your penis?" All right. And when I did that, because I'm on my Twitter, and that's all I said. I said, ask them what the size of their junk. And then these guys started just like out of the blue coming in and attacking my. And I was like, wait a minute. I was talking to the women, and I go, oh, you mean to tell me if I mention anything about their male organ, they lose their mind? And they taught me their weakness. And so all day yesterday, I just attacked them in their pee-pee, okay? Their little ding-dong, their ding-a-ling, right? And they were raging. But today, I said, I whipped their butt, I whipped their ass yesterday. Now let me rub the boo-boo. Now let me kiss them and say, you a good boy. Don't do that to me again. So today was a nurturing day. Today I was showing, I don't know if you see the Paralympics where there is a blind female runner and then there's a man. They hold hands and they run together because men are faster than women. When they run together, and then right before she gets, now here's the dynamic of this. Right before she gets to the finish line, he pulls back and let her cross because he was there to help her, not to overcome her, not to take advantage of something that was dedicated for her. And I was showing that video, and I said, we need to work together. I said, the red pill manosphere space is trying to divide us. Don't let them do that. So, and that's what I did. I did exactly what you said. Yesterday, I was the masculine. I was ripping their butts. And then today, I'm like, oh, did you understand? You can't be talking to me like that. You can't sit up here and attack me. And so I was making it boo-boo feel good today. And this is how it should be done.
Right.
Where you have
And
the both
that's so
masculine and the
interesting
feminine. Go ahead, sorry.
Yes. I think that there is something interesting about the red pill community is that the fact that they're called red pills. When we think about red pill in the Matrix movie, because that's where the reference comes from, it is talking about the truth. A truth that is not necessarily emotional. It's just simply objective. It has no necessarily a reaction, right?
But that's all they do.
Red pillar people are the angrier, most resentful men on earth.
They're so emotional. They're so emotional.
You know?
They're so emotional, they have a thing called red pill rage. And they want to sit up here and say that we're the emotional one. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys have red pill rage and you want to say that women are the emotional one? Are you kidding me now?
It's ironic because they want to find a woman with low body count while they lead a relationship, right?
Exactly.
She has to be respectable and a wife and the head of the house. But at the same time, they want to fuck 50 women by the time they're 20,
right.
And they need to have more than 2 official girlfriends. And
right.
then the one they keep and the one that's official, they have to ignore so that she stays around. But at the same time, there is so much fucking conflict.
Yes.
It's a fragmented world.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like, even between them, they don't even know what to think. So you have the Tate and this Andrew Tate and his brother.
Yes.
They are making fun of the red pillars on Twitter, but
he's just as worse.
So I'm just like, what's even going on? I think that, you know, the one thing that's probably going to happen by the time that women wake up a little bit more is that these men that operate from this angry spectrum, they're going to become obsolete because women of value appreciate emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't think that they're even going to be considered as an option for them because they're just going to be so centered and kind of grounded in their power that they don't need someone weaker than them.
No.
And these people, I can guarantee you, Myron and this guy, he's just so self-conscious and so insecure by the way
They're
he exists.
all
The way
insecure.
that he was shaking and sweaty. Exactly.
For him to shake and sweat, honey, let me say, no offense. Like I said, you're itty bitty, you're tiny, you're cute, you're so adorable. I'm not afraid of you. But he feared you. He was sweating, he was shaking, and when you put he's so demonic that I think that if you put your hand on any man or any baby or anybody who's afraid, I think they will instantly be calm, okay? I've seen that motherly nurses have that a lot. Their hands are so powerful that when they put the palm of their hand on the heart of a person or the shoulder or their head, it calms them immediately. The fact that it just made him go crazy is a form of demonic energy that you have inside of him, that he has inside of him. And even someone as angelic and someone who has good nature, that you had good intentions towards somebody like him, just shows what a low vibrational person. And when I say low vibration, we're talking about the demonic. We're talking about the hellish mentality of these men. Even that even enraged him even more. It maybe, I don't know if he was trying, maybe Viviana, you were subconsciously exorcising the demons out of him.
Yeah, I do think he's just going through it. He's hurt. I'm not sure what.
He's damaged goods. I don't believe he can be.
He's certainly
he's damaged goods.
There's a little trauma in there.
Too much trauma that he's not willing to go to a professional to take care of it. So he's like this for life. These are some people I write off that they cannot be helped. They will always be that way and they will die that way. And he is one of them. And all of these men, there's not one leader in the red pill space who is actually for one, high value man, but two, they come with a good energy that basically come with the intentions to really provide a solution to a man without being hypocritical against women. So this is and by the way, and they're all not lost. I'm not going to name the ones that are not lost because I don't want them to get their heads big. But I will say this. No, I will put a name out there. Myron is done. Amaru Fidel, he's done. But the little crusty one, I know it's so mean saying that, but I don't feel guilt. I believe that he will turn around. What do you think? He's not demonic in my opinion. Too. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I sense a similar energy when I was sitting there. I feel like he's gonna being carried away by the wave, right? Because he sees that there is this potential of fame and like greatness and cars and women. The frame of reference that they have is the money and the greatness, right? So, but I do think that he was not, even when he was looking at me, he didn't have that
that contempt. That anger, that resentment. I know.
That's it. I sense that. And I'm like, you know what? You might have some sort of good in you that is going to come to the surface at some point.
I can't believe I'm saying this. He does. He's just following the lead of, if you want to look at the dynamic between Myron and Walter, Myron is the alpha in that business relationship.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He needs a cheerleader behind to say yes to everything he does, right?
Yes.
That's the only reason that he exists, because Myron wouldn't be confident enough to be able to speak by himself.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Yes, girl. So, oh my God, I knew you was good. I knew. See, I don't attach my wagon to no filth. Okay, I knew you was good when I saw you. That's why I was a big fan.
It's just. it's a little concerning because all of these men have the wrong frame of reference. They look at someone who has money and girls, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so cool because you pull and you have the Ferrari and the houses, and I admire this person so much. So maybe if I have those things, I'm gonna admire myself too. And it's not a conscious behavior. That's just an idea that we get.
Yes.
But when you finally have those things and you get them, you realize that didn't do anything to their insecurities.
No.
And they're still as behind as they thought they were. They're
Yes.
still empty. There's still nothing that moves them inside. And that's the problem, that they're trying to sell self-improvement with cars and money and trips and a little bit of self-improvement. That is not how it works. You can't not just start a process where the intention at the beginning is just to fuck bitches and buy cars and houses.
Right.
And at the end, just flip a switch and be like, oh, well, I'm going to meditate and just be spiritual and I would like to just be confident and self-improved right now. That is not how it fucking works.
And
you know?
And you will not be a good father that way. These men may think that I won't get married. They're against marriage, okay? Because even Myron says that you should live with men and not with women. So now he wants the father out of the home and only come, over there every now and then. What is he? He's no different than an absentee father. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's promoting you. You don't want the father in there with his wife, which is the mother, and therefore when you come home, you just come home to mom, who has to call dad to come over from his fraternity house to come and give you some attention. You know what I'm saying? This is freaking crazy. And so these guys are being led down the wrong path, and it's like it's gotten worse. There's one more thing I wanted to say too. When you was talking about women, I just came to me. I forgot to say this. When women were thinking that they had to lower themselves and thinking that I'm just gonna let my husband do everything.
Agree.
Okay. Yeah. So I want women to understand nannies get paid mucho money, okay? Housekeepers get paid a lot of money. I want you to not think that you attending to your own children is a nothing job. It's a full-time job. Also, keeping up the house is a full-time job as well. What I want women to understand is that if these men, because you got a lot of these men talking about something, why should I have to pay alimony? If you caused your wife to leave her job and to stay home to do another job, which is being the mother, being the stewardess of the house, cooking and cleaning, that in itself is a job that she did not get paid any money for, but she knows how much it's worth. When you leave her or you cheat on her or whatever and you get divorced, you have to pay alimony because she decided to leave the workforce in order to do the traditional thing you keep preaching about. So you can't sit up here and ask her to leave the job to do traditional work, because if you want to talk about tradition, that's how it was. But now if you have consequences for the fact that what you did or what she did or whoever, I'm not going to take anybody's side, but I'm just saying that I want women to understand that there is value in being a homemaker. But don't sit up here and think that just because you're now this is what I'm against. I'm against women who work a 9-to-5 and then their husbands are expecting them to be, Martha Stewart at the house. If she has,
and that's the thing.
Yeah, if she has to work,
we're more likely.
Go ahead.
We're more likely to take up on the masculine tasks. The man is not going to fucking cook and clean.
No.
It's us who are going to, if we're struggling with money, it's us who are going to find the second job, or
right.
We're going to go out there to figure it out.
Right.
They're not going to cook and clean and, do the dishes because they don't know how.
Right.
It's up to us.
Right.
So the dynamic power starts getting fucked up then,
Right. And that adds value. And this is why, and also these clowns saying that women are not high value. Until you start giving until you can give birth, we are very high value. Listen, oh my God, married men live longer than single men. Married men live longer than single men. Isn't that giving value to that man? You mean to tell me you're longer here on this earth if you're married to a woman? Damn, she sound like high value to me if she's going to extend your life. We also, let me tell you something. My husband appreciate that I cook. My husband, they don't know how to do no dishes. I remember, my husband thought he was going to surprise me one day and do the dishes. Girl. I didn't, you know what? And because their ego is so fragile.
Right.
I didn't even let them know that those dishes were not, I saw little specks on them and everything like that. So, when he was at work, I re-cleaned the dishes and everything, but I still oh, honey, you so sweet. Listen, anytime, and I let him like, don't you ever clean those dishes again. I don't want my man touching them dishes. How dare you? You're the king. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only saying that because I'm like, holy, I don't want you half-assing these dishes anymore.
I was actually lucky enough to grow up in a family where the dynamic was like teamwork. My dad loves cooking and he loves cleaning. He's pretty OCD. So my mom and
really?
him, we're a teamwork. Yeah. So growing up, I really thought that 50-50 thing was like really possible. Starting by the fact that I left my country really early on and I was fending for myself and I was providing for myself and I was working, because no one was with me. So I thought that, like kind of working through the masculine energy was my only way to really be protected. Right. But then that's one of the things that I have improved right now, because now I have the safe space because I have my fiance and he's given me that opportunity to embody and really kind of relax on my feminine energy and really work through my creativity. For example, that's why my podcast became a thing, because now that's what we do. I create and then he takes care of the other things that I'm not the best at, right? But I have tried and I have managed because I also can. I don't need no one, and I can do the things, and I can do the providing, and I can do the fending for myself, and I can do all the things that he can do.
Yes.
But I might not be as good as him.
Yes.
Right. So what about you do what you can and what you're good at, and
yes.
I do what I can and what I'm really good at, and we make something cool out of our relationship and becomes powerful. You know?
As a unit, because together you're powerful. You know what I'm saying? And they're not teaching these men that. They're teaching them like, you have to subjugate these women. You have to dominate these women. You have to let them know that you're the boss and you're this and you're that, and they have to basically make you a sandwich. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, that's not how that works.
And Myron kept saying, well, like, you girls, like, you always go where the grass is greener. And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Somewhere else. What are you damn grass? Why are you stressed about shitting on other women? It's just so confusing. And like, just think about it. If they're not gaslighting these women that they're with, and if they open the doors for them, they're obviously going to go find someone better and more decent the first 2 seconds that they're out of that relationship, because they know subconsciously that they suck. So they're fucking terrified to be left behind. So they have to put their angry face and generate fear in order to keep them there, because they know that they fucking suck. So
and that's another reason why they go.
Better people.
Yeah, and that's another reason why they go. These women need to lower their standards to get a bum like you. I don't think so.
Exactly. So it's just a bad cycle.
Really, really. So let's talk about you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your platform, your podcast. I want you also to plug everything, because, honey, let me tell you something. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this interview up really nice. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to make sure I put all of your links in the description. Okay. I'm also going to probably, are you on Twitter, or you're just on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I barely use it, but I'm getting my team on it this
That's
week.
no problem. No problem. I'm going to put,
yeah.
Whether you want it, girl, you're a queen. You can choose whatever platform you want, honey. Okay. If you're more popular on Instagram, I'll put it underneath your video webcam. So I'm gonna hook you up. Mm-hmm. The thing about it is what I want people to get to know is, because now that we know the backstory of how we found you, I want people to come to where you are. So talk about your platforms, your podcast, what you have to offer, and what you discuss.
Yeah, so the idea started very early on. I actually wrote 2 books. As I said before, I left Colombia when I was around 10 years old. I did a bit of an international high school. I studied in the States, then I went to Nice, the south of France, and then I graduated in Canada for university. And as I was on the go, I was able to really kind of, in those in-between moments, I had a lot of that introspective momentum with me, because I was on my own. So I really learned quickly how to be comfortable in my own body, enjoy my own company. And I started getting curious about human complexity as a whole. So in my podcast, I realized that as I went and I was talking to my friends and my family, the little tools that I was kind of collecting from my life experiences and the travels and all the things that I was interested in, the books and the brains, I am obsessed with brains and how it functions.
Me too.
Was really making me live like a lighter life. I was just able to not take myself so seriously and kind of just enjoy the simple but amazing and magical things of life, because I was just practicing the specific tools. And the more I spoke to people, I realized that I was somehow they kept coming back to me, because I was just like giving out these little things, these little seeds, planting them there, and they would always come back and ask me for more. And I love writing. That was like my way of expressing myself. And my dad found one of my books and he said to me, you should do something with this because you could probably help people. So I am using the topics of the things that I have written with throughout the years, and I'm expanding on them. And pretty much my only purpose is to make people understand that I would love to live a life of service. I want to give back, and I realize that my voice and the things that I say carry weight in their lives for the most part when they're ready to receive the message, and that can have a massive impact in the way they live and the way they feel about themselves and their confidence and their self-love. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to talk to people as deeply as I can, introducing subjects that are not easy to understand, that are kind of complex, but I relate them all to my life and I make them fun with my life stories. So that's what I do. I talk about human complexity. I talk about monogamy. I talk about polygamy, about sex, about pleasure, about orgasms, about relationship dynamics, about all the little magic things that we can have and that the potential that we have as human beings. And I am trying to have conversations with amazing people that are not afraid to take up space like you. I love the fact that you have a community, and I love the fact that you say the things that you want to say. I love the fact that you're strong, and the fact that I'm here, it's a blessing for me, because women like you inspire me to keep on doing this. Aww. Even if I don't have
it's really the other way around for me. Right? Go ahead.
Even if I don't have, like the same, like, you have this amazing energy. I'm more like on a laid back, it's a different style.
Yeah,
I think that we both have a similar message.
Yes.
So I think it's beautiful that we can have these conversations that are nurturing for everyone that is listening to us. And in any way, because I think that you're kind of doing the same thing. You're having this community so that you guys can unpack life and you guys can relate to each other and make people realize that we don't have to do or go through the hard things alone.
Right.
That there is a whole community around the world that can share the same, experiences, and we can relate to each other. And that is just what we're here for. Humans need humans.
Yes.
So this is what we're doing, creating a cool community that is bringing the frequency up, because we have so much potential, and together we go faster and further. So.
Right. You know what? I want to ask you something, because in the process of beating up the men in the red pill space, it seems to me that they are very insecure sexually. And I think a lot of them will attack beautiful women that are in the sex industry because they understand that they are too intimidated sexually. Do you, or do you think in the future, or if you don't have it now, like, how would you, and I know you'll be the you're patient, you're nurturing, you're not judgmental like I am. I call these people names all the time, but that's not my style. But I think they will be more comfortable asking questions, and I think it would be credible because you're a woman, you have the parts, you know how it is to basically to talk to a man to figure out how he would resolve those insecurities in reference to pleasing a woman sexually, especially when they had been destroyed for attacking women, for attacking women, period. I basically just destroyed them, because you understand, a man pointing his finger at a man's groin and go, ha, 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 is different when a woman points her finger at a man's groins and go, ha, ha, ha. it's more painful when a woman does it. And I think another woman can build that man up. What is your remedy for these type of men?
You know, it's funny that I recently made a podcast about orgasms, and I was talking about the pressure that men have to kind of link their masculinity and how macho and capable they are of being a man, and that's depends on how good they are at making her come in bed.
Yes.
How many orgasms I can make her have. You know, like they're just so linked, their identity is so linked to that power that they claim to have over us. The thing is that our orgasms are our responsibility, and a lot of women, they haven't been able to really learn their bodies.
Also,
right?
do you think it's also they don't have that connection to the men? If the men that they
Oh, totally.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, totally. There is like a little bit of everything.
Right.
But I do think that the first kind of thing that we have to stop doing in order for this to move forward is to necessarily give that man the responsibility. Because if he doesn't even know what to do himself, you know, like you need to learn your body first in order for him to work with him in tandem to make him actually and like help him and walk him through it.
But these men act
like
no. These men act like they the dong dig dong. They act like they Don Juan in the bed. These men beat on their chest and they act like, oh yeah, girl, you want some of it? And we understand that they're just full of crap. We understand that. So if they're going to come to a woman acting like they're going to give her the best then and she basically gets shortchanged because he pumps 3 times and go, ugh, and it's over. I mean, no, that's not her fault at all.
That's not her fault at all. I agree, that's not her fault at all. But I also think that our biggest power as women lies on that erotic power that we have, our sexuality, just because we are portals of creation.
Yes.
The second we realize that what we can do when we're transmuting that sexual energy, we become unstoppable. But we're not supposed to know that. And you have the relationships of the women that have been 8 years with their husband and they have never experienced an orgasm, and they think that shit's normal. You know, they think like, well, you know, like, I don't know, like, I guess it doesn't work. I think I'm broken. You're not freaking broken. It's just women don't take their pleasure seriously, and they think that only men deserve that part.
No.
When that's not the case at all. You
True.
know? So now that you're saying about you're asking me about men asking me, they already do.
Okay, great.
And I'm like building, yes.
Because I want you to
understand.
Like I want to give. I just want you to understand. My agenda here is to provide a solution. I'm not the solution. I'm here to punish these men for attacking women. And I think that humbled a lot of them. So once they're humbled, they're able to learn. So now that I've given you the punishment like a mommy dummy does, okay, I'm going to give you the solution. Here is a beautiful, gentle, nurturing woman who is able to teach you what to do from there. Okay. And so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so one of the things that I have done, for example, in my OnlyFans is that I like to make that educational. So my retention on my OnlyFans has nothing to do with the images or the visuals, because I don't post any explicit stuff.
Right.
But I am really good at erotic poetry.
Right.
So this is going to sound a little crazy, but how I kind of pull them in is emotionally. I pretty much
no. They're emotional. No. It doesn't sound crazy.
Right.
They want to say that they're not emotional, but they are emotional.
They are there because they are lonely. So once you give them the chance to be an actual human, they are disarmed and they show their vulnerable. I'm telling you, if you went through my conversations, because it's not me, my team is helping me now.
I believe you.
The conversations that I have with them. It's men that are actually lonely.
Yes.
You know? So I actually become friends with these people.
Yes.
And one of the things that I have done before is that I have done lives and I teach them and I walk them through how to please a woman. So I use, for example, an orange.
Good.
And I tell them, this is how you finger her, because this is where you find the clitoris, this is the labia, this is, you know, I kind of explain to them step by step. And I have had messages of men telling me this has literally changed my relationship with my girlfriend when they were there to talk to me because I had an OnlyFans.
Right.
So see, like, I am trying to accommodate every single tool and make it my own so that I can somehow help out.
Good.
Because I know that it sounds crazy that I'm trying to help out through OnlyFans, but it is happening.
Well, no. You can't do that on Instagram. Also, when men, hold on, no. I don't find it crazy because men they take more value in something they have to pay for. But that's human nature anyway. If you're giving something for free, you really hold no value with it. If I'm given a free car, I'm more likely wreck it and let it get scratched and whatever. I don't care. I got it for free. But if I worked my butt off to save and then to buy to get a down payment and to make monthly payments until it's paid off, I'm going to take very good care of that car. Okay, so no, I totally understand that and you can also know that a man is serious when he invests. But that goes with anybody who wants to take classes, take courses, learn a new trade. You got to pay for it because that shows that you're serious, that you're going to take seriousness in what you invest in. So I totally understand that.
Right. Yeah. I do think that the only solution is really to communicate more.
Yes.
We have to tell them what we like after we get to know our own bodies. We need to know our scale of pleasure. We need to walk them through it. We need to show them what we like. Every single body responds differently to different kinds of stimuli.
And I think that's one of the problems we can blame on women, that they're not taking time to show a man. Every woman is different. You got to show your man. I know you used to do this with this woman, but let me tell you how this body works. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just communicating and just kind of also opening the space for them to first, like, actually, like, letting them think that they're going to be leading. But before you lead, let me tell you how you lead. So then again, it's ironic because they think that they're in control, but we have to give them the access to be in control. So
we have to keep letting them think that they're in control.
Again. Exactly. So... Yeah,
that's the key. We got to keep letting them think they're in control. Because the ego, I understand, this is why I laugh at this whole thing about women are emotional. You understand that I would even argue that the red pill men are more emotional than women. So when I have to basically take care of your ego, not to bruise it, because I understand I could crush it. I have that power as a woman to destroy your ego, but I don't want to create another daggone mass shooter. So I'm going to basically, I'm just joking when I say that, but I'm just saying I'm going to take care of that and let you think you're in control, because it's not an ego thing for me. Right. I don't care. As long as I get what I want, yes, baby, you run, you alpha dog, you in charge. Take control, okay? I'll let you think that, okay? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that I want you to be the best that you can be, and I have no problem being behind you in the process.
Yes, that's it. It's a beautiful dance, we can, I'm convinced that, like, the more that we speak, the more that we communicate, the more that we address the uncomfortable, because you can be with someone for 7 years and have sex once, twice a week, and you can be married. No one talks about sex ever. There's no feedback. People are shameful and they're embarrassed because they don't want, women are faking orgasms all the time.
All the time. Just, I feel so sorry for these women. And okay, so let's talk about that. So the women, okay, that faking the orgasm, that's so sad. And now, here's the deal. We have to be honest about this, that some women are creating blockages based upon past trauma that is preventing them from having an orgasm. Then some women don't know their body from not only, touching themselves and bringing their own self into, orgasm. So that's another thing. They don't even know how to do that. And so they're going into it blindly. Even if they were introduced into sex, 9 times out of 10, they were introduced by a man who was just looking for his gratification, but not trying to teach her. And because he's the experienced one, she's a virgin. So he's not basically helping to grow with her sexually and tell her how this feels and how that feels and how, communicating in the bedroom during the process is just as important, as well as after the process. So with these women, I think the faking it needs to stop? What do you think? I know some people say no because you're going to hurt their feelings. I'm like, they're not going to learn if you just continue to give them the cheat codes.
We don't even understand our own biology.
Yeah.
Men are frying pans and women are ovens, right? They come within 4 to 6 minutes. We need from 20 to 40 minutes. And he thinks that by pulling your pants down and pumping twice, you're going to come. Where's the foreplay? You know? Like, what are we doing? Everybody's so fucking confused. Only 20% of women come from an orgasm through their genitals.
Yes.
Only, like clitoral orgasm. Only 20% from penetration. Only 20%.
Yeah.
All that men watch, all that shit's fake.
Yes.
And if you're trying to compare that to what happens in the room, you're completely clueless here.
Right.
Like, starting there, nothing that happens in is going to look like what's going to happen.
No, exactly.
No.
Exactly. Oh, God.
You know, women are also so worried about, you know, am I looking good? Oh my God, if I sit on him like this is like my little chub.
They don't care.
Okay, it's my... They don't care. It's like an
They
animalistic
They don't
instinct.
listen. I told this one. Oh my God! Tell me if you agree with me, Viviana. I have a friend, and she's so worried. She's like, I got a fupa. Look at my fupa. I said, girl, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I said he does not care. And you said, has he ever said anything? Like, no. I said, listen. He don't care. It's these women worry about their nails. They worry about their hair. They worry about, you know, they want to make sure their hair is still nice and I'm like, girl, he doesn't care. You can come in there with a ponytail. He doesn't care about your nails being the same color. He doesn't care about your makeup. He doesn't care about your hair. He doesn't care or your fupa or whatever, or if you got cellulite coming in your thighs. They don't care about that.
I agree. Our brains work differently, and they don't care. It's just on a very animalistic instinct.
Yeah,
you know.
thank you.
If we
Yes.
don't really find it, if we don't find the time to know what we like, because remember that you can have clitoral orgasms, anal orgasms, G-point orgasms, 8-point orgasms, blended orgasms, nipple orgasms. People have orgasms when they get their toe sucked.
Yes.
Right? So the only thing that you need to have an orgasm is your brain.
Right.
That's the only thing that you need. So orgasms happen in your brain. So a lot of it is the mentality
Women
of
don't
letting
know that,
loose
though.
and just enjoying yourself. No, we care too much for no reason.
God.
We haven't been offered that safe space. And if we don't fake the fucking orgasm, he's gonna be heartbroken, right? Imagine what are you gonna say? Like, did you come? No, I came to my senses, got the f- out of my bed. You're not gonna say that. You're gonna be like, oh yes, honey, I came.
Hold on.
No,
I
you're not.
actually, in my heyday, I have kicked a man out because he was trash in bed. And I actually, like, I kicked him out of my apartment butt naked. I threw out his shoes, his pants, his drawers, his shirt. I said, get out of my house. That was some trash you gave me. Go do better. And I said, next time I'm going to kick you. And guess what? The next time he came around, he was so good. I climaxed 3 times, honey. So it's like, I have to teach them that. So I know the punish method.
That's it.
Okay, I know the punishment. Like, what the hell was that? That was trash. And I just started gathering his shit. I went right to my door and threw all of that shit. Told him get the fuck out and come back when he got his game better. So it's like it. But I'm just saying, ladies, I'm telling you not do that. That's my personality. That's my energy. That's what I do.
That can break their identity forever. They're not gonna recover from that. And trust me, that guy that you did that to, he's still thinking about you.
He ain't gonna forget.
Oh no.
And by the way, any woman who have been pleased by him, you're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, I did that service for you. You're welcome.
That's it. We just gotta teach him. You know, they have to put like this, like very strong, like baby, I'm gonna make you feel all the things I've never felt in your life, and like they have to really play this role, you know. But they don't achieve anything, and then they get their confidence completely broken because you say the truth, like, no, I didn't fucking come.
Right,
you know,
right,
like, are you
right.
gonna be done soon because I'm in pain already?
Yeah.
They think that the harder they pound, the closer you will be to coming.
Yes.
There's just a whole freaking disconnect.
Right.
There's no
Big time.
foreplay. There's no nothing.
Right.
So, yes, it's just like taking more of that responsibility in ourselves first, so that we feel in control and we feel that innate capacity that our bodies are able to have, the sensations that we're capable of, are given to us for a reason, to
Right.
feel them, to explore them. right? So we need to be able to just take that step first ourselves and then have that control and confidence when we're in bed. Because when you have two people that don't know what the they're doing, that is just not gonna work.
True.
You know, you might be in love with someone, but just because he's your Prince Charming, he's not gonna get off the horse and just be like, oh baby, I'm gonna make you go 3 times. Love and attraction is not equivalent to pleasure.
Yes.
So we need to
girl,
know
preach that stuff, girl. Okay? You preaching it today. We got church service up in here. Hallelujah. Listen, oh my God, I got to bring you on again. Of
course.
Oh gosh, this was great.
I would love to have you in mind too.
Absolutely. I'm there. And listen,
Amazing.
I will even pretty myself up for you, because as of right now, I like to stay in my masculine energy, and I like to have a hat on, like you know what I'm saying? But honey, I will look good for your podcast, okay? I will get my hair done.
You
my
are
nails.
gorgeous as you are. You don't need nothing. Oh God, nothing. That's the thing. That's where your power lays. You're wonderful and beautiful exactly like that. Imagine if you fancied up. It's for you. It's for you. But
absolutely.
like that, you're stunning.
See, let me tell you something. Compliments get you far with me. Okay, listen. I want you. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna cut off the stream, but I want you to stay around for a couple of minutes afterwards, and because ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to put all of her links, because she's gonna email them to me, and I'm gonna put them all in the links, all in the description box below. But I want you to verbally tell, just in case people are listening to the audio, I want you to verbally tell where they can find you.
Of course. So my social media is going to be, my Instagram is going to be @Vekoh, VEKOH.com. And you're going to find me on Spotify for the podcast. It's going to be @HolyWhore, just like it sounds.
Yes.
And that's going to be the same thing on YouTube as well and on Twitter. So Holy Whore everywhere, but my Instagram, it's @Vekoh.com.
Great. Listen, definitely, I have no problem coming on your podcast. We are definitely going to have you come back on mine. I'm so glad we worked out the whereby, and this was the time it was supposed to happen. I guess the time when I wanted to happen, the universe was like, nope, not yet. I gotta wait until I demonetize Fresh and Fit first, and then you two can come on.
Karma's a bitch. Huh?
Yes, it is, and she don't play, honey. Okay. So
this was lovely. This was refreshing. Thank you for having me here. I am absolutely obsessed with your energy. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for the frequency that you're putting out there for this collective consciousness. You're really doing a lot for us. So thank you for creating the spaces. This is massive.
Thank you. And thank you for basically being who you are, the feminine energy, the nurturing, the motherly, you know what I'm saying? Also being a safe place for men and women to come and learn more about their body, their sexuality, to basically explore that space and learn more about who they are, their body, their orgasm, their roles, and that it's okay to have the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying?
We are a part of a dual universe.
Yes.
There is light and darkness. There's order. There's chaos. There's moon. There's sun.
Yes.
This is what we are. We are a unity. Everything comes in two. And talking to men and teaching them that women are the enemy won't make up for a healthy society, and not the other way around either.
Right.
So I know that we can do this. We're better than this. We
Yes.
just have to work together and have the spaces to communicate.
Absolutely, because we need each
we're
other.
changing the world right here.
That's
exactly.
right. That's right. That's right. I want to thank Viviana again for coming back. And do you want, I'm going to let you have the last word. So go ahead and sign off with the last word to our audience.
Just want to say thank you for listening to me. Just remember that you're magical and powerful and beautiful, and you have all your life ahead to discover that. This is an adventure, and this is for you to enjoy. So you can come to me and come to Tree whenever. We're people that want to give to other people. So just don't forget that you're not alone, that we can do this all together.
All right. With that said, I'll be right back, guys. I will see you in give me about 5 minutes. Later, taters.